OVPL this week, match week 9 already, as the regular season is quickly coming to an end. This is Jay, your host, coming here from our channel straight from the training ground. We got a lot of people with us tonight. Brandon Ponchak, the lead commish. We got Ryan Wall from Highlanders, Tyler Smith from Cincy SC, Josh Logan from 1927. And fellas, thanks for taking the time to join us tonight. So real quick, we'll run through some results. We'll have some highlights for everyone as usual. And Brandon will fill us in on the league tables as the regular season is quickly coming to an end here as we get ready for the final and some league leaders from each team. So with that, here are the results from the past week. 9 games on the schedule. Indy Saints with a 5-0 win over Paddock. OP 2-1 over Croatia Juniors. Valhalla 2-2 draw against Evansville. Highlanders with a 3-0 win over Ambassadors. 1927 with a big 17-0 win over Paddock. Erie 0-0 with OP. FC 7-5 in a thriller with Nitro. Elite FC 4-1 win over Croatia Juniors. And Cincy SC 2-2 draw with Old Boys. So with that, Tyler, 2-2 draw with Old Boys this week. How have things been going with the team?
Yeah, we've been going good. We had a great result this weekend. Finally getting our best squad out there, in my opinion. A bunch of new guys coming together. We're a pretty young team. We had a great result, had a good trip over there, and we wanted 3 points, but we're happy to take 1 point away.
Tyler, sounds like once again you're, you know our style. You're coming to us straight from the training ground. We love it.
Yes, I am. Yeah, I'm going to say it's been good. Wrapping up the regular season, as you said, trying to end on a high note this coming weekend. But we're keeping after the work and trying to get ready for this game, as well. A bunch of us college seasons coming ahead.
Tyler, so when does your college season for yourself begin, and remind us where you go and stuff like that?
Yeah, so I go to Rome College, and then we're going to start on August 17th. And that's the national Division III day move in. Some D2 guys, and we'll stay starting about the 10th, and some D1 guys who are starting about August 7th, I believe.
Okay. So everybody's looking forward to maybe a couple of weeks off before you start, or a couple of weeks away from maybe the training ground, I guess, before you start getting back into it, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. I'll say we probably won't have any Cincy SC sessions after this coming weekend, but definitely going to try and keep the guys together, getting better, keep getting each other better, and then hopefully we run into each other here in the postseason this year.
So just one last question for me. What's been your thoughts about the differences between playing this summer for your summer team there at Cincy and then also your college season? How do you contrast the two? I know we talked about that last time a little bit, but is there anything you can kind of elaborate on?
Yeah, definitely. I think the summer season is a very special season that not a lot of people know about until you get out here and experience it. Because you're going to come back in the fall, that next season, and you're going to be stepping on the field every day with someone who's your teammate in the summer. So being in a situation where, you have the best 3 players from school 1, the next best 2 or 3 guys from school 2, and so forth. So you're just constantly training with the best and getting better. Then obviously in this league, you're playing the best from West Virginia, you're playing the best from Indiana, other parts of Cincinnati, Ohio, and so on and so forth. So you're always seeing the best competition day in and day out, which is absolutely amazing.
It's a good experience so far?
Definitely. I've always enjoyed it. I mean, it made me ready for my freshman year of college, and it keeps getting me better every single year here. So I really enjoy it.
Good stuff. Excellent.
Well, nice. Appreciate it, Tyler. Yeah, thanks I know we're busy. You're in the middle of training, so we really appreciate you taking the time to hop on here with us. And as always, great to hear from you, man. Keep up the great work, and best of luck to the team as you guys finish up the season.
Thank you. Best of luck to you all as well.
Tough, Tyler. Take care. Well done, man.
Appreciate it. See you guys.
See you later.
And with that, we have Josh along here with us from 1927. Josh, how's things going as you guys look towards ending up the season here?
Yeah, good. Had a good few last results. We had a really difficult time down at Old Boys. That was a tough game. They kind of adjusted to us from the first game we played them right at the start of the season. Looked like they brought in some new players. Really, really hard to break down when we played against them. So we actually had a young boy who hasn't played much over the season. Paddy Pearson was kind of the super sub for us in that game. So he come on and scored a brace. So scored one late in the first half and then came on again in the second half and scored. So Paddy was the real difference maker in that. And that was good to see some of the younger players getting a chance in that game as well. With it being around the 4th of July when that game was, we had a lot of guys out. So we had people who had trained with us all season but had not got any minutes because we have decided to play other players. who got a chance to step up and prove the quality, and the boys did it. So I was really happy with that. Yeah.
Fantastic. So what do you guys have left in your season, looking ahead?
Yeah, so we have one more game in the regular season. We play against Valhalla, and then after we play against Valhalla, we should host the OVPL final, to be determined, I believe. Pontiac, but we'll see.
Yeah, to be determined.
Yeah, so just a recap on our season. I think this was our inaugural season in the OVPL, and we haven't played. This is actually the highest level that Fort Wayne Sport Club men's team has ever played in. So for us, it was kind of diving into the unknown, throwing a roster together of guys who live in the area, guys who go to colleges that are local in the area, or guys that are still in high school or freshmen in college. So we actually I've got a list here of all the young players: Noah Black, Cooper Foshier, Owen Leland, Garrett Klefka, Jarek Aguilar, Sarah Twabe, Paddy Pearson, Tim Sluzariak, Isaac Gegner, who have all played in games for us over the season, who are all freshmen in college or in high school, which is great for us to help try and develop the local area players first and foremost, because that was the goal of the club starting off. And then we've actually had guys who are in high school who have trained with us all season and haven't even got into the match day 18 or haven't got on the pitch, which credit to them guys. They've turned up all summer because they wanted to get better and learn off the older players, which the older players have done a really, really fantastic job all year of teaching the mannerisms and the effort level and the desire level that you need every day to turn up and work hard and do the right things. And for me, I thought I have coached players older than myself before, but going into it, I'm coaching guys who had been pros for 10 years. And they've been great with me so far. Really, really, really humble, really coachable, and they've loved every minute of it, I hope, during the summer. So been a good experience for me and all of the boys.
If you're old enough, you're good enough. Yeah?
Yeah, that's the saying. I mean, I think our youngest player that we played this year is 17. So, yeah, that's the saying, the famous saying.
Yeah. Well, fantastic. That's good for you. You guys, great to hear from the club. I don't want to speak for Brandon, but I think, that's what the league's all about. Quite a mix, giving an opportunity to young and old in your community. So that's great to hear. Appreciate it. Ryan, what's the scoop with the Highlanders?
We played on Saturday. We had a return leg game against Ambassadors. Honestly, we tightened up a few things from midweek because we played them previously on the previous Saturday, and it didn't really do too well for our own standards, I believe. And so this week we tightened up a few things. We came away with a 3-0 win. 2 great goals from Vitor Utsuka, who's our winger, plays with West Liberty University. Came up to a couple of excellent goals, and also Bryce Gandy, who's a winger at Seton Hill University, did very good as well. But it was just a good team performance. Very pleased with them. There was some shenanigans going on, I'll say that, through the game, but our guys kept their discipline, didn't get drawn into anything, and just very, very pleased with the result. I think we had the bulk of possession for the game, and also it was an opportunity. We had 2 17-year-olds playing as well, which is always good to get those guys in the game. I mean, 2 juniors going to be seniors at high school, so that's really good. And I just feel like a lot of things have come together this last week, and hopefully we can keep this going for the next few games. That we've got left of the season.
And what do you guys have left?
So we have 2 games on the docket. One is to be determined. We're working with Brandon there, the league, to figure out what's going on with that. But we do have a fixture on Saturday up at Elite FC, which is the other side of Columbus, Marysville area. So we got a game against them on Saturday. The other game is yet to be determined if it's even played at all, because it was postponed on short notice towards at the beginning. It's the first game of the season, our season opener here in Wheeling. So we just got to figure that out, what's going to happen with that. And balls in our court. Just got to keep going, and we'll stay top of the table.
Right. 4 goals and no assists. I've never seen that, but you had 3 of them. How's it feel to get 2 wins on the trot?
It feels good. The team is getting back together, and we can't wait for the next game right now.
Excellent. Thanks.
Before we move on to Brandon, I just have a quick question for Ryan and Josh as coaches. We talked to Tyler from a player's perspective, but you guys have both, as you mentioned, coached quite a bit, you've been around different age groups. Now that the season's kind of winding down, how would you compare this to other, ventures that you've coached in, whether it's club, different age groups? compared to in the summer with, such a mishmash of ages at the OVPL level. We'll start with you, Josh.
Yeah, I think kind of the unknown, who you're going to play on the weekend has been the toughest part for us, knowing what level your opponent's going to be, how your guys are going to be motivated if the opponent's a little weaker than you would have expected or if they're stronger. So we have had tough periods in games. I think Evansville have been the best team we've probably played so far. And then we've also had games that have been probably a little too easy for us. So keeping the motivation level, knowing what to expect has probably been the toughest part of the season, I would say. And of course, keeping the whole squad happy. We have 35, 40 guys who have trained with us throughout the season. So keeping everyone happy and making sure we're rotating when and as if needed. So, yeah.
Yeah, Ryan?
Yeah, I want to build on what he said there. I mean, there's no scouting reports on any teams we play. So it's like, it really is, it's an interesting thing. I mean, I think you saw the Nitro game the other night, 5-7 was the result.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not probably anybody's fault. It's just you don't know who you're up against. You can't watch video on the other team, really. And I mean, we've had like 2-5-3 games, just been bonkers. But that's an interesting part about it, and maybe that's more of a pure game of soccer. Going back into it used to be like that. When if you're as old as Jay and I, you never had any scouting reports anyway. So maybe we're harking back to some good times. But yeah, I think that's an interesting thing. And then also just going twice a week. We only train twice a week. And you're trying to, factor in people's work schedules, and you don't, as a coach, have control of everything. So some things you're just going to have to let be and see how they roll.
Yeah, nice. Well, that's good insight. Brandon, what we got from the league side of things?
Well, number one, first off, congrats to 1927, clinched the River Division and hosting opportunities, or at least home team opportunities for the championship game. A lot to be said about the clinching game. 17-0, not a scoreline you often see. Several records set there for the season and in the game. I mean, number one, Romain Lopez tacking 6 assists in. That's a game record. But he also set the season record with 11 assists and counting, I guess I should say as well. Obviously it would be most goals in a game combined. There is where else we have all tied. 1927 has officially tied the longest winning streak in OVPL history at 9 games. One club, Ohio Galaxy set that through last spring and summer. They had a 9 game winning streak.
Who broke that?
1927. Oh yeah, Highlanders snapped that one. Yeah. So they have a couple. 1927 has a couple more games to reach. The longest unbeaten streak is 12 games, and then 11 games as well. So there's those two. On the season, Seth Maulmeister, 16 goals. That's putting him right up there for season lead all time. It's second right now. As Finn Sallow set the record in the fall spring season with what do you have, like 24 goals or something like that. And then of course Richie Afalianka is right there behind him as well, or I mean kind of right there with him. I mean I guess I shouldn't say necessarily right behind him. So it's still a tight race at the top of the Men's Valley. Not counting anything, but West Virginia Highlanders could clinch that division with a win in one of their last 2 games.
As we mentioned earlier, it's hard to believe. I know for all of us, you guys especially been busy every week, training and getting games in and scheduling and all that stuff. But it's hard to believe the regular season's winding down and it's getting to that part already. But appreciate you guys hopping on here and taking the time. Josh and Ryan, keep up the great work with your teams and everything you're doing in the community. Just a reminder to everybody else, follow your teams in your community. Follow these guys, all these different teams in the OVPL on social media. They're doing a lot of great things in their communities, both on and off the field. And so do everything you can to continue to promote and support soccer in your local areas, as well as our show. We appreciate it. And once again, straight from the training ground, we'll see you next time.
Visit our friends at Football Town for casual football wear.
Visit our partners at TractionSocks.com for performance grip socks created for all athletes. Use the discount code TractionSocks22 right now for savings.